You experience it every second. But here's the thing. No one actually understands what it is. Scientists, philosophers, and neuroscientists can observe what the brain does when you're conscious. But explaining consciousness itself remains one of the deepest mysteries in existence. The most straightforward view comes from physicalism and emergentism. This perspective says consciousness is what the brain produces, just like wetness emerges from water molecules. When neurons fire in specific patterns, consciousness emerges from the integrated electrochemical processes across cortical, thalamic, and brainstem networks. We can map which brain areas activate when you see color or feel pain. But here's where it gets tricky. This explains what consciousness does, not what it fundamentally is, or why physical processes should create subjective experience at all. That gap is what philosopher David Chalmers calls the hard problem of consciousness. Most neuroscience explains the easy problems, like how the brain processes information. But the hard problem asks, why does all that neural activity feel like something? Why do you experience red instead of just processing wavelengths? Chalmers argues that explaining brain function doesn't automatically explain subjective experience, and we might need entirely new concepts to bridge that gap. Then there's integrated information theory from neuroscientist Giulio Tononi. He proposes that consciousness isn't just what complex brains do, but a fundamental property of how systems integrate information. According to this theory, anything that integrates information has some degree of consciousness. This leads to a controversial implication: panpsychism, the idea that all matter possesses some form of consciousness. It's radical, but it takes consciousness seriously as a basic feature of reality rather than a mysterious byproduct. Some researchers, like physicist Penrose and anesthesiologist Stuart Hameroff, suggest consciousness involves quantum processes in brain microtubules. Their orchestrated objective reduction theory proposes quantum computations at the cellular level might account for consciousness. While mainstream neuroscience remains skeptical, recent studies continue investigating whether quantum effects play a role in neural processes. Here's what we know for sure. Consciousness is real, undeniable, and somehow connected to the brain. But whether it's produced by the brain, fundamental to reality, or something we haven't even conceived yet, remains genuinely open. What makes sense to you? Is consciousness something the brain creates, or is it something deeper? Do you think physicalism fully explains your experience?